stress breakers in prosthodontics. A stress breaker is defined as a device which relieves the abutment teeth of all or part of the occlusal forces. A stress director is a device that allows movement between the denture base and the direct retainer, or extracorona. Right? Stress breaker also called as broken stress partial denture. Right? Or articulated prosthesis. Right. We know that soft tissues are more compressible than abutment teeth. In a tooth supported partial denture, when an occlusal rod is applied, the denture tends to rock due to difference in compressibility of hard and soft tissue. As the tissue are more compressible, the amount of stress acting on the abutment is increased. This can cause harmful effects on the abutment teeth. In order to protect the abutment from such conditions, stress breakers are incorporated in the denture. It is something like a hinge joint placed within the denture framework, which allows the two parts of the framework on either side of the joint to move freely. Right. So, what is the aim of stress breaking? The aim of the stress breaker is to direct occlusal forces in the long axis of the abutment teeth to prevent harmful loads being applied to the remaining natural teeth, so that to distribute the force uniformly on the hard and soft tissue, to share load as early as possible between the natural teeth and saddle area according to the ability of these different tissues to accept the loads, and to ensure that part of the load applied to the saddle is distributed as evenly as possible over the whole mucosal surface. Therefore, it would provide greater comfort to the patient. Right. Stress breaker is used in RPD, distal extension mainly, FPD with pyre abutment, FPD with tilted abutment, tooth implant supported prosthesis, because tooth has its own movement and implant is ankylosed. Therefore, to balance the movement of the tooth with the implant, we have to give stress breaker. Advantages of stress breaker. Basically, the stress breaker provides the alveolar support of the abutment teeth is preserved as the stress acting on the abutment teeth are reduced. The rigidity of 12 gauge wire avoids overloading the mucosa, right, which we use in stress breaker. The mucosa is also move evenly loaded. The stress on the residual ridge and the abutment teeth are balanced means, right. It is easy to splint teeth with this design. Like if there is weak abutment teeth are well splinted even during the movement of the denture base. And abutment teeth are not damaged even if relining is not done appropriately after the denture wears out. The fabrication is relatively simple. Repairs are rarely needed and also very simple because there is distribution of force evenly on the hard and soft tissue. That that would provide a comfort to the patient. Minimal requirement of direct retention. And movement of denture base produce a massaging effect on the soft tissue. This avoids the frequent need for relining and rebasing. There are various disadvantages also. So, what are those disadvantages? We'll discuss them one by one. Design is complicated and expensive. Right, first thing. Second, the assembly is very weak and tend to fracture easily. Distorts due to rough handling. If there is rough handling, it may lead to distortion. Right? And repair is difficult. Reduce stability against horizontal forces. Both vertical and horizontal forces are concentrated in the ridge, leading to resorption. More resorption is observed. In these cases. And it reduces indirect retention. There are various stress breakers, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is here a movable joint is placed between the direct retainer and the denture base. This joint may either be a hinge or a ball, right? Ball and socket, or a sleeve and cylinder. Adding these stress breakers to the junction of the direct retainer and the denture base allows the denture base to move independently so that the force will decrease. This decreases the amount of force acting on the abutment. The combined resiliency of periodontal ligament and the stress director will be equal to the resiliency of the oral mucosa overlaying the ridge. Right. Examples for hinge includes Dalbo, these are the examples, Crismani, ASC 52 attachments. Then come to a type 2. In type 2, it has a flexible connection between the direct retainer and denture base. It can be wrought wire connector, divided or split major connector, hidden lock partial denture, disjunct partial denture. In a split major connector, the major connector is split by an incomplete cut parallel to the occlusal surface of the teeth into two units, namely the upper unit, more near to the tooth, and the lower unit. The denture base is connected to the lower unit, and the rest and direct retainer are connected to upper unit. Like, I'll try to make a diagram. This is your one tooth. This is second tooth. This is your denture base. From here, if we are providing these assemblies, then this assembly will break from here, and this is the part of denture base. This area is split area. So the forces over here, this splitting will distribute the forces and split major connector. Wrought wire connector, the gauge 12 gauge chrome wire. It is a 12 gauge chrome wire stress breaker. 12 gauge wire is adapted to the refractory cast. The wire is coated with dye lubricant and the wax up is completed. Then wax must not go beyond maximum convexity of the wire. The wire is removed and the casting is completed. After recovering the casting, the wire is welded or soldered. Then the connection between the denture base and the major connector is separated to activate 12 gauge chrome wire. This is split bar major connector, which I've already told you. Here is splitting so that when occlusal forces are applied, they are transferred more towards the tissue supported base and then they are transmitted to the abutment teeth. Right. Then come to your hidden lock partial denture. In case of hidden lock partial denture, this is a two-piece casting. The top half, which is major connector, support the direct retainer and other rigid component is cast first. And the bottom half, which is connector between the denture base, is cast to the major connector next. Right? This is the one part and this is the second part. The hidden lock is created by mechanical means and the split between the two connectors is made possible by the thin oxide shell that forms during making of two connections like this. What appears to be a conventional lingual bar or lingual plate actually is two bars connector by a movable joint at the midline. But there are various disadvantages, more prone to collect debris and become unhygienic, and also there may be chances of tissue trap at the junction between two parts. Disjunct removable partial denture. It is a tooth-borne or mucosa-borne part of the denture are disjoint. Tooth-borne, this is a tooth-borne part where we are getting these pointed ends because of interproximal area, and mucosa-borne, this area is mucosa-borne. Parts of the denture are disjoint, tooth-borne part, providing splinting of remaining teeth and only retention for mucosa-borne part. Right? This is tooth-borne part which we have to join with the denture base. This is pin. Structural details. The tooth-borne part is a lingual plate and thus provides stabilization of remaining teeth. The tissue-borne part is a lingual bar which consists of denture bases along with the teeth at its terminals. There are various advantages. Independent movement between the tooth-supported and tissue-supported part decrease the forces on predominantly weakened remaining teeth. And disadvantages, it is technically difficult to fabricate. Patient may complain of rattling of framework during mastication. Philosophies of design. The philosophies are based upon three approaches to force distribution: stress equalization, physiologic basing, and broad stress distribution. We have to add one more: conventional, rigid design. Right. So conventional rigid design is a design with rigid components which act like a raft foundation to evenly distribute the forces on the supporting tissues. This design is used in all general cases. The only flexible component of this denture is the retentive term. Right. The stress equalization, which we already discussed, type 1 and type 2. In case of stress equalization, proponents believe that rigid connection between the denture base and direct retainer are damaging and that stress directors are essential to protect the abutments. Articulated prostheses, hinge most common, ball and socket joint. These are three things which provide stress equalization. Physiologic basing. This technique distributes the occlusal load between the abutment teeth and the soft tissues by fabricating a denture basis based on a functional record. The functional record is obtained by recording the tissue under occlusal load or by relining the denture under functional stress. That means we have to take the impression, we have to make the impression of the soft tissue in compressed state. The denture fabricated using a functional impression has one major disadvantage. This tends to compress the soft tissue even at rest. This can leads to ridge resorption, which is disadvantage of this type. Since the denture is fabricated using a functional record, compressed tissues, the soft tissues offer more resistance to further compression. This increased resistance to compression, provided the occlusal mucosa equates to that of periodontal ligament of abutment tooth. In this manner, the abutment tooth is protected from excessive forces, and the denture can distribute occlusal load evenly to the teeth and tissues. There are various advantages. Advantages are good adaptation of the denture base, physiologically stimulating effect on the tissues of residual ridge, promote tissue health, and reduce the necessity of frequent relining or rebasing procedure. Minimal retention requirements, lightweight prosthesis, minimal maintenance and repair. The disadvantages are premature contacts between the opposing teeth and the prosthesis during closure, difficult to produce effective indirect retention because of vertical movement of denture, and the minimal retention provided by the direct retainers. Then come to broad stress distribution. According to this philosophy, the occlusal load acting on the denture should be distributed over a wider soft tissue area and the maximum number of teeth. This is achieved by increasing the number of direct retainers, indirect retainers, and rests, and by increasing the area of denture base. In that case, we have to increase the number of rests with the teeth, right? The advantages are the design with multiple clasps acts as a form of removable splinting. It increases the health of abutment teeth due to splinting action, and it is very easier to construct and economical. The disadvantages, it is less comfortable, difficult to maintain adequate oral hygiene because most of the teeth are covered with the clasp assemblies.